Welcome back. So it's beginning of spring now. I can see the nice magnolia blooming out there in the backyard. And yeah, start of April. I've got a few phaleonopsis in bloom here. So this is the bronze maiden still going there. And in between a little no ID miniature hybrid. But this one over here is the new one that's opened up, and this is phaleonopsis luedemanniana. Very beautiful species, and it's grown really well for me. It's growing very rapidly, and yeah, so just pull it out of the pot to see what's going on down there, and you can see quite an impressive root system on this one. And I always thought with these species, phaleonopsis, I always thought there's no way I'll be able to grow them. They say that they need really warm conditions, 30 degrees days, 23 degrees nights, that sort of thing. But I've been growing it just in sort of household temperatures over the winter. So much colder than 30 degrees, and it doesn't seem to mind at all. So just goes to show, isn't it? You shouldn't always believe what you read, or at least that's not necessarily the only way that these plants can be grown. And then this one's quite adaptable, and in fact I'm finding that a lot of the phaleonopsis just do well at normal household temperatures. So I've got a couple of paphs in bloom as well. So now this orange flower here on the right is the Encyclia vitellina, which has been open for a while. And the white one on the left there is a venustum hybrid. And this red one in the middle, I think, is Barbigerum vinifera or something like that. I think it's probably a hybrid. It's a no ID. Got given to me many years ago when I went to one of the orchid shows, and I had my little daughter with me at the time. She was still very young, which just goes to show that I've had this plant for quite a long time. So she's 19 now, so this plant's probably 14 years old or something. And it's the first time it's bloomed for a long time, but it looks very nice. Beautiful patterns there. And the other thing which is quite exciting for me, at least, is this Rhinanthera monochica has got a nice big spike on it, and this is definitely a bucket list orchid for me. I know they're pretty readily available, but I did try to grow it once well, when I was still living in Australia, so probably almost 20 years ago now, and I couldn't grow it because I didn't have enough light living in the apartment as I was at the time. But got plenty of sun here in the Netherlands, ironically enough, and yeah, it's coming into bloom. And the other one, which has got, I don't know if you can see it, but this Ascocentrum grayi, which I got recently, has also got a little bloom spike coming out, so that's really nice too. And this large paphiopedilum here, which is coming into flower, is Berenice, Paphiopedilum Berenice. Got the tag there. So this is a multifloral. I think it's a hybrid of Philippinensis and Lowii. This is the second time it's flowered for me, and yeah, it seems to be quite an easy to grow orchid. So yeah, very nice to have that coming back into bloom. We've got another little Ascocentrum here that's also coming into bloom. I think this one's Ampuloceum, but it's flowering down into the vase, unfortunately, so I'm not sure how good of a show that will be. But yeah, this one has pink flowers, it's very nice. So I've got a couple of Ascocentrum coming into bloom. And I'm not sure if you recall, or if you saw one of my other videos where I had the Paphiopedilum venustum mejersianum, so that's the alba form of venustum coming into bloom, along with vietnamense also coming into bloom. So yeah, it went a little bit wrong with the venustum, unfortunately. So I took some footage of that the other night. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so this is my venustum mesianum, or commonly known as alba. And what do you notice on this one, huh? It's deformed. So that's a shame. Just looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll try again. See if we can keep it going, and maybe next time it won't. But if it's a genetic deformity, if it turns out to be that, then the plant will have to be discarded. So yeah, it's a shame. And next to that we've got the vietnamense. That one is still going. That doesn't look like it's got any deformities on it. Well, we have to wait until it's opened up, of course. But this one, it was already clear before it opened up that the pouch would not be complete. And this is another one. This is a no ID. It's a really beautiful bud in its own right. It's very intricate colouring and patterning. Sometimes I think the buds are almost as beautiful as the flowers themselves. So what I'm going to do with this venustum here, get the shears. There's no point for the plant to hold this flower, so just take it off. Allow the plant to focus on growing some caicas, some little baby plants, and hopefully the next ones will be better. Time will tell. So venustum has opened up. It's a bit cupped, so I'm not sure if it's completely finished with opening, but it's very beautiful all the same. Really nice lip on this one, and it's quite a small plant, so yeah, see if I'll be able to grow it up into a larger clump after this one has finished flowering. I believe that a lot of people have difficulty keeping them alive once they've finished flowering, so that'll be a challenge. There's beautiful details. So this is a fairly recently discovered species. It was described in the late 90s, I think in 97. Comes from Vietnam, as you would imagine from the name, and it's quite remarkable that this species and quite a few other really amazing species have just been discovered so recently, which I guess just goes to show that the areas that they're coming from are perhaps quite isolated, and coming from, I think this one comes from, has a fairly small distribution, which might explain why it evaded being discovered for so long. And to the right of it, this is Delenatii roseum, I think is it roseum? What's it called? Vinicolor, yeah. So it's the dark form of Delenatii, and that one is a little double header, so it's got two buds on it, so that'll be really nice. It has grown very well. I think I've had it for about 2 years. It started off as quite a small plant, a little seedling, and now coming into flower for the first time. And on the other side of vietnamense is Lindley Kopovits. So I bought this one, I think also probably 2 years ago, and it was flowering when I bought it actually, and it's coming into flower again, so very nice. Now on a bit of a sad note here, we've got this Cattleya, Miriam Suzuki, and yeah, it's not looking too good, is it? This flowered beautifully last year, and I'm not too sure what's happened, but it looks like it's got some sort of rot coming out from the stem. All of the growth nodes have turned black. These two front bulbs look okay, but yeah, I'm not very hopeful for this one. I think there's a good chance that I'll lose this plant. It would be really sad because it was so beautiful when it flowered last year. Now I have had problems throughout the winter with mealybugs attacking the cattleyas. I do get them off pretty quickly, so they don't get that established, but they do seem to be able to cause quite a lot of damage to some of these cattleyas in a very short period of time. And once the leaves have been attacked by the mealybugs, then they tend to drop off. Yeah, I've got this little Gasgalliana here, which is also really probably going to perish as well. It got attacked by the mealybugs, and then it just went into a downward spiral after that, so that's a shame. And this one is the blue dragon cultivar, so it would be a shame to lose that, but fortunately I do have another little bit of it somewhere, so might be able to, well, that other little bit, that's this one here in sphagnum. It was two sort of little plants in a pot, and yeah, I'm glad that I split them up into separate pots now. But I do still have this Gasgalliana here, and this is the tipo, or the standard coloured form, the pink form. This one's growing very well. Take a look. It's a bit hard with one hand. Yeah, let's just lift it up like that. But yeah, you can see the roots are doing very well, and it's got 3 growths on it. So that one's a goer.